Hello viewers, this is Just Fact Network TV, a place where you can get the latest information about Nigerian news. And now the news in details. Looming clash of Lagos Godfather over Senatorial seat. The Godfather of Lagos politics, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has always preached that his followers should not expect power to be served to them. But his selection method has often faced condemnation for the single-handed way it spoon-feed anointed candidates with party tickets, to the frustration of sometimes more popular and long-standing aspirants. And in Tinubu's latest elections of the All Progressive Congress (APC), candidates for the expected by-election for 2 legislative seats left vacant by the demise of a senator and a member of the Lagos State House of Assembly. History repeated itself again. Now aggrieved members have said they want to show him that enough is enough. Both deceased legislators belong to the APC. The Lagos East Senatorial District, comprising of the 5 local governments of Ikorodu, Kosofe, Shomolu, Ijebu, Lekki, and Ekpe, became vacant after Senator Adebayo Oshiomhole, alias Pepe, died last June 15. His friend and fellow constituent, Honorable Tunde Brahamo, transited on July 10, which also rendered vacant the Kosofe 2 state constituency seat in the State Assembly. Although the harsh EndSARS protest had forced a 35-day shift from the original date of October 31st to December 5th, the Lagos by-elections will from all indication boil down to a 2-horse race. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has 13 political parties filing their intentions to contest the vacant seat. But fact on ground shows that the contest will see the bereaved party APC square up against its major opposition, the People's Democratic Party (PDP). Rumblings in the APC House, however, linger within the APC from the process that produced these 2 candidates. Members begrudge the fact that the flag bearers' emergence trampled upon the internal democracy process of the party as usual. This is vintage Tinubu. Not only did the Jagaban unilaterally midwife Babajide Sanwo-Olu's candidacy in the 2019 general election, Tinubu reportedly single-handedly sidestepped the primaries to choose 40 finalists from the 201 aspirants who purchased forms for the State House of Assembly and got the party to refund the rest their deposit. The same method produced the 2 APC candidates in this by-election, both Obafemi Saheed, who emerged APC candidate for Kosofe 2, and Tokunbo Abiru, the party's senatorial candidate, were returned unopposed as ordered from above. Even then, Abiru's candidacy remained contentious to party aficionados, virtually lacking in core political credentials. Abiru, until recently, served as the managing director of Polaris Bank, although he had been commissioner for finance under former Governor Babajide Fashola. But his brazen anointing and impositions by the power that be has left fathers ruffled within the party, so much so that a sizable number of APC members in his Lagos East Senatorial zone have sworn to vote anti-party and either boycott the election or cast their lot with an outsiders. Asiwaju, APC leaders and white good chase over Abiru. Asiwaju had mandated the Governor's Advisory Council (GAC), the highest decision-making body of Lagos APC, to headhunt a befitting replacement of the deceased Pepe. However, the GAC soon discovered it had embarked on a wild goose chase. The council had shortlisted for the vacancy for the former Speaker of the House of Assembly, Adeyemi Ikuforuji, former Permanent Secretary, Radio Lagos, Mr. Lekan Ogunbanwo, Chairman of the House Committee on Finance, Rotimi Olowo, and former members of the House of Representatives, Dayo Bush. Alebioshu. The eminent GAC members tabled these 4 names, but Tinubu sent them back to the drawing board to beef up the list. Subsequently, they submitted an expanded list of 7 candidates, embellished this time around with the inclusion of 3 newcomers: the banker Abiru, former Lagos PDP stalwart Chief Bode Oyedele, and former House of Representative member Wole Diya. Tinubu unilaterally settled for Abiru. Trust and loyalty to himself always dictated such selections, but additionally, Asiwaju appeared enamored with Abiru's formidable credentials as a financial guru with an equally intimidating pedigree. Tokunbo's father, Senator Madashiru Akombi Abiru, served 2 terms in the Second Republic on the platform of the defunct Unity Party of Nigeria (UPN), following which he became a judge after the 1983 military coup. Also took Tokunbo's tenure as managing director on the driving seat of Sky Bank PLC that transmuted to Polaris Bank, saw the bank recovering over 200 billion naira erstwhile bad loans, just as his tenure as finance commissioner helped the state's 18 billion naira bond transaction. And despite all this, his overnight and meteoric displacement of other aspirants has been described as curious. It is being banded around that the APC national leader unilaterally imposed Abiru on the party because he might be the godfather Hayes for the 2023 governorship. Apart from the selection process triggered off deep grumbling among party leaders, what other factor may be working against the young man? Party leaders view him as a technocrat lacking grassroots depth, and they had no political relationship with him. And for him, more experienced loyalists had been sidelined and sacrificed without any pretense to any democratic hurdles. Tinubu's recent Fox pass and misadventure in the Edo election, where his intervention met with irritation stones of Edo no be Lagos, as well as his tangible and intangible losses in the Ash and SARS protests, have combined to query his infallibility and may have emboldened intra-party antagonists. Meanwhile, major beneficiaries of the trouble currently rocking APC would be the PDP godfather, Chief Bode George, and his party candidates, Mr. Ademola Adebioshu, for the State Assembly seat, and Chief Babatunde Gbadamosi BOG for the Senate seat. A scion of the famous Gbadamosi family in Ikorodu, Gbadamosi is no political neophyte. He is a businessman and estate magnate. Despite flying the flag of another party, the Action Democrat Party (PDP), as governorship candidate, Gbadamosi benefited in 2019 from the PDP godfather, Chief Bode George, falling out with an erstwhile protege, Jimmy Agbaje, the party's governorship candidate for the last 2 elections. Just a couple of days to the last election, George directly followers to abandon the PDP flag bearer and instead vote Gbadamosi, the rival ADP candidate. Agbaje lost, Gbadamosi lost too. With that 2019 collaboration, it took no hard marketing to convince Gbadamosi to cross carpet and become a full-blooded member of PDP. In fact, the young man is supposedly being lured into the Senate to keep him occupied while George shopped for a governorship candidate with a huge war-chest for PDP in 2023. PDP divided, but like APC, PDP comes into the by-elections with a divided house. Agbaje today does not see eye to eye with George. George wants to upstage and see the back of the party's Lagos State chairman, Engineer Deji, his erstwhile godson, during the 2019 governorship primaries that Agbaje won. This internal fault line have been further accentuated with George's recent spat with the former Ekiti State Governor Mr. Ayodele Fayose, and Fayose's face-off with Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde clashes that have split the Lagos PDP executive between Doherty and George. So viewers, what do you think about this? What is your own take about this? Kindly drop your comments at the comment section below. For those who subscribe, we want to say a very big thank you to you for subscribing. We'll say God bless you for subscribing. And if you're yet to do so, kindly press the subscription button below